Hello everyone. Today I am bringing you a mellow practice for sore or tired muscles. So I'm not officially calling it a gentle practice. We will be moving around the mat a good amount, but moving at a mellow pace on the chiller side of things. So not really looking to ramp up too much, but to get some good blood flow and gentle stretching into the whole body. We are at the end of the year here. I'm in the last week of the year as I'm recording this, and this can be a time when we've been doing some heavy lifting physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that stuff that goes on as we're trying to wrap up the work year. Maybe we're celebrating some holidays, and I definitely woke up this morning thinking, oh, my body just feels sore. But the beautiful thing about having a yoga practice is that when that happens, we can get onto the mat and let this beautiful practice of breath and movement and mindfulness and meditation uplift us a little bit and bring us to, hopefully a more comfortable place. Bachi has also got some sore muscles because she went to the beach yesterday, did a little beach walk, which was great. I was so proud of her. So I would love for you to go ahead and lay down, have your props around, a couple blocks, maybe a blanket, maybe a pillow to make this Shavasana nice and comfortable in a bit here. And go ahead, lay down on your back. And just take a moment to rest there. And you can rest flat on your back, or perhaps it would feel good to bend your knees, place your feet at the edges of the mat, let your knees knock in. So you got some kind of extra support there, extra grounding in the back. And perhaps even drape your arms back behind you a bit. And just taking a nice, restful, and supported shape here. Good. And maybe you'd like to close your eyes here or just soften your gaze. Try to relax your jaw. And just start with a nice deep breath in. And a long, relaxing breath out. And we'll do that a couple more times. Nice breath in. Nice breath out. And again, nice breath in. Nice breath out. And then you'll rearrange your leg posture so that we all have feet at the edges of the mat, but knees out, separated now. And take your arms out into a soft T, almost like it's a shallow V a little bit, and start to drop your knees down side to side. And if you can, drop your head as well, letting your gaze go in the opposite direction from your knees. And taking just a couple more cycles of this. And then you can come on back to center. And then gather your knees into your chest. Let's take it like more a reclined wide-kneed child's pose. So knees more out by the ribs, holding onto your shins or to the backs of your thighs. And just maybe 4 or 5 times rocking your whole body side to side. Good. And you can roll over completely onto your right side now. And just curled up there, resting your head on the right arm for a moment. and then pressing yourself up onto your hands and knees. Good. So we'll meet there in the tabletop pose. And you might like to walk your hands out a few times here. And then you'll plant the hands back down, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we'll take a little bit of cow and cat. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your tailbone, and exhale to round your spine, doming up through the back for your cat pose. Inhale for cow pose. And exhale for cat. Good. And so just taking a few more rounds here. And so for me, part of when my body needs something mellow, which it definitely does today, sometimes it's not even that the poses will look that much different. It's a little bit more about my pace. So that, and if that's, the same for you, just think about maybe, honoring how your muscles are actually feeling. And, it makes sense that if they're feeling a little tighter, a little more congested or tensed up, a fast movement, it just might not be the most practical or efficient way to address that, because the fibers may need just a little bit more time. Okay, I'd love for you to complete your next exhale in the rounded spine and then come back to your neutral. Sit back on your heels for a moment. And we'll take the left hand to the outer right leg. You can be kneeling up here on a block if you like, or cross-legged, it's fine. But you're going to take that left hand to the right leg, right hand to your sacrum. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, and exhale to twist your chest to the right. Again, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, twist a little bit more, using that nice leverage of the hands. One more here. Inhale and exhale. And we'll take another breath in. I'm going to exhale, unravel back to center. We'll take the other side here. So left hand to the sacrum, right hand outside the left leg. Inhale for lengthen the spine, and exhale to twist to the left. Inhale again, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, twist a little more. And again, inhale for length. And exhale for the twist. Awesome. We'll take another breath in. And we'll exhale. Come on back to center. Come forward to your tabletop. Curl your toes under and carefully lift up and back for your first downward dog. Pedal out your heels. Just easing our way into this. For me, it's easing my way back into it. I haven't done this pose for a few days. We'll come back into stillness. Bend your knees, look to your hands. Step your feet up to meet your hands. You'll lift halfway up there, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, forward fold. Now we'll just bend the knees, place the hands on tops of the thighs, and just go ahead and gently stand on up. We'll keep the left hand on the left leg, kind of pressing into the thigh. We'll inhale the right arm to the sky. And then exhale, take a nice side bend over to your left. And then inhale, come back to center. You can slide the right hand down and the left arm's gonna reach over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Center. And to the right. Let's please go ahead and take one more each side. Come on up and over and up and over. Great. Now, if you could take both arms up to the sky, inhale, and then interlace your fingers behind the skull. And then we're going to do something a little bit different than we sometimes do here. So you're going to take an inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then gently bring your elbows forward, right? So you're not trying to, squeeze your head between your arms or anything, but you're just kind of giving some effort to bringing those hands forward and elbows rather forward and keeping them there. And then you'll inhale, nice length through the spine, keeping the elbows pointing ahead. You're going to slightly tilt your head back in your hands. So I wouldn't call it a back bend, but just laying your head a little bit more back in the hands as you continue to track your elbows forward. Just make sure you're not straining in the neck. The idea here is actually to get some opening in the neck, in the trapezius muscles, and underneath the shoulder blades. One more cycle of breath. Good. All right, now we'll bring the head back to vertical, and we'll simply let the elbows melt out to the sides and then unravel the arms and just take a few intuitive rolls in any directions in the shoulders. Great. So we're going to take our blocks now to the edges of the mat. I'm going to move these aside. And we'll come up standing in our mountain pose, getting into a little bit of a lunge sequence here. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, please forward fold over your legs. Halfway lift. And hands on the blocks here or the mat. You'll step the left leg back for your lunge. And you're going to inhale, just go ahead and drop into that lunge and hold. Press your left heel back. Right. Feel some length along the spine. One more round of breath. Okay, you're going to take an inhale here, and then exhale, you'll bring the left knee down, and you're going to shift back here so you're in like a 90-degree lunge here, front and back leg, just for a moment. Now scooch this left foot a little bit towards the left edge of the mat. Left hand can stay down on this block. You're going to slide the right leg back and then plant it on the mat. So we end up ready for a side angle variation. You're going to lift your right arm up to the sky. Now here, you could adjust if you prefer left hand on the mat or keep it on the block if that feels secure. And then extend your right arm above your head if that feels okay. Really press into the top of the left foot. Lengthen your tailbone towards the right foot. One more breath in. Awesome. And exhale. We'll bring both hands down. We're going to meet in tabletop here, and we will get both hands on the mat here. Curl your toes under. Lift back to your downward facing dog. And take a round of breath here. In and out. Now we're going to inhale, lift the right leg high to the sky. Stack the right hip over the left, maybe bend the right knee so you get a nice quad stretch in here, drawing your heel in towards the bum. I like to do a light point to the right toes. And then inhale, re-square, re-lengthen. Take your right foot forward, step your left foot up, halfway lift, and a forward fold. Go ahead, reach your arms up, inhale. And exhale, arms to your sides. Let's go right to the other side. Inhale, reach up, please. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And right leg steps on back. All right, so dropping here into your lunge. Couple breaths. Really pressing back through that right leg will help a lot to really feel the stretches we're looking for here. Now another breath in, and you're going to drop the right knee down. We'll shift back, so we're in that 90-degree lunge for a moment. Slide this left leg back and then plant it back behind you. Scoot the right Toes a little bit towards the edge of the mat, and bring your left arm up for your side plank variation. You can take the left arm overhead if you like. And this is a place to really engage the core. Squeeze 360 around the core and lengthen your tailbone towards that left heel. One more breath in. And exhale. We're going to come back into table. We'll bring the hands down to the mat. We'll take our downward facing dog. We'll lift the left leg back and up and stack the left hip over the right, getting some nice quad stretch in there. And then we'll inhale, re-square, re-lengthen. Left foot comes forward. Right foot joins, halfway lift, and a forward fold. And we'll reach the arms out and up. And release arms to your sides. Good. Now turn in either direction on your mat so that you're facing a long edge of your mat. And you'll turn your toes out, heels in. You'll bend into your knees and place your hands on your thighs. We're not trying to be vertical in the spine here at all, but you can take a nice deep bend into the knees and maybe just rock side to side a few times. All right, and then we'll come back into center. We'll take an inhale to push the legs away and an exhale to take your left shoulder in and your right shoulder back, getting a nice twist here. You'll inhale center and you'll exhale to switch. This is probably one of my biggest go-tos when I'm just a little sore. Center to the right, center to the left. Good, and we'll do one more each side. Awesome. All right, go ahead, come back up to center. Straighten your legs, just toe heel your feet in. And then we'll meet back at the top of the mat. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Step back to your downward dog. Few breaths here. Then take an inhale. And exhale, you're going to come forward to your plank pose here. And we'll hold here for a few rounds of breath, just visiting plank once today. One of the reasons I love plank is it really asks the whole body to work together, engaging the legs, the core, the back, the arms. Breath in. Can shift forward a little bit, drop down to your knees. Come all the way down. Rest a moment in crocodile. So stacking your hands, forehead down, maybe wiggling your hips side to side. And then we'll come up for our Sphinx pose. So you'll rise up, elbows underneath the shoulders, or they could be slightly ahead of that line, right? And dragging the arms back a little bit as you lift forward and up with the heart. I like to have my feet a little bit wider than hips width here on the tail of the pose. It just feels a little better for my low back. One more inhale. And exhale, come on back down. Slide your hands by the ribs. Engage your core to press up to your table. And back to a wide-kneed child's pose. First visit to child's pose today, or only visit, first and only. And it's really up to you. You may want a much softer version of this, curling your knees closer together, arms by your sides. The wide knee with extended arms will be a little bit more along the stretchy vibes we've been working with. And just remembering to give yourself some love here. Makes sense that sometimes if our bodies are feeling a little sore or tired, we, have a little less energy for the things we want to do. And just we need to prioritize rest as well. Come on back up. Yep. So I remember combination of nourishing movement and making sure to get the rest that you need. Often will do the trick, but it can take a little bit of time. So we'll come onto our backs. We'll take a nice figure 4 here. So plant your feet about hips width. Right ankle is going to cross over the left knee. And we can pick up the left foot here, interlacing your fingers around that shin or the hamstrings if you like, or you can just keep your left foot down. Maybe rotate the ankles a couple times. We'll take another 5 or 6 breaths here. I really need this one today. Great, and we can put the left foot down. Very simple, switch to the other side unless you're looking for anything different. Otherwise, you're just going to cross left over right and take the same thing. Second side. Back of your neck stays long. If your chin juts up in this pose, I just noticed mine was a little bit, try to lengthen the back of your neck. And then if that's not available, that just based on anatomy and positioning, put a little pillow or blanket under your head so you're not undoing any good work with an uncomfy neck. Go ahead and release this side. And then this time, go ahead and lengthen your legs out. Maybe again, take your arms back behind you and just taking a nice full body extension, still soft, but just stretching out a little bit here. And then to close, we'll take a brief happy baby pose. Or you can choose something different, but if happy baby works well for you, taking your feet up towards the ceiling, holding on to the bottoms of your feet, or maybe to your ankle joints, maybe to the outsides of your shins, something that gives you leverage to kind of draw your knees down. but also to lengthen your spine forward. One more breath in and exhale. Let's release into our Shavasana. I've got all the puppies here, so I'm trying to not disturb their rest. Some of you have heard me say how much I love, when I'm trying to be extra soothing to myself, to just take a low pillow just right under the spine during Shavasana. It's just simple, but can feel really, really nice. So just releasing all attention, all effort, and coming into a sweet time of rest. Shavasana. As always, I invite you to take as much rest as you like here. Maybe you continue on in Shavasana. But if you are ready to start to close this practice, you can just connect with your breath, with your inner life, with a little bit of movement, just a nice gentle time to come back. And give yourself a couple moments again to be on your side, just like when we started to come into the flow. Curled up, rest your head on your arm. And then we'll come up and meet in seated. And good job. I want to just commend you on showing up on your mat, maybe on a day where you did feel a little sore. And, sometimes those are the days where it's hard to kind of drag yourself there. But, I think we're almost always made the better for it. We feel a little renewed. So good work making that choice. Thank you for giving me a reason to make that choice as well. For real, that is such a gift. So bring your hands to your heart center, and together we will close. Nice deep breath in, and a full breath out. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, 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 everyone.